I just thought that this was very interesting, this article and this research method that you could use to help kind of employ just to understand how millennials are thinking and responding to this growth of burnout. Um, and so, if I could take any research method, I would use the attitudinal approach to just get a better understanding of what these millennials are thinking and their opinions towards the digital media, the devices that they use, the platforms that are accessible to them, and how these can relate or possibly just add to burnout. And um, I think I would use some surveys and some follow up interviews to figure out that um, just the burnout um, thought process, and if that's what they're feeling or if that's totally not what they're feeling. I think using surveys and especially the follow-up interviews to ask those following up why questions can help get a better understanding of if multiple millennials are experiencing burnout and why they are and like what's contributing to this attitude. So through those surveys interviews, I would just kind of ask multiple questions and just like get some information from those questions. The kind of information that I think is most important is like their thought process on this digital world and the devices. I think a big thing for me, maybe, and I feel like a lot of people could relate to this, that as the digital world is growing and advancing, that everything is so much more accessible. Um, and so, in a sense, life should be easier. Doing work should be easier, but I think it also makes things harder because how accessible it is. So I could be out of my house or out of job or whatever, and I could still check my emails and I can still make phone calls and I can still be working even though I'm not at my desk, I'm not at my computer because of my phone. And because of social media, you can make a platform for yourself, you can brand yourself um, to look and portray yourself the way that you want to kind of get that edge, that competitive edge on people. Because we all have this idea that we should be working all the time. We should always be doing something. So I think one of the biggest things that I got from the article, and it's sad because I relate to it so much, so it's a little bit convicting, but when the article said that everything that's good is bad and everything that's bad is good, that the things that should feel good, like hanging out on the couch and watching Netflix or whatever you do that makes you feel happy, that those feel bad because you're feeling guilty for not working. But then the things that should feel bad, like the working all the time, that you almost feel accomplished and you get prideful because you are getting ahead, that you're doing what you need to in order to succeed. So it's kind of that self fulfillment. I feel that so much. I always feel like I should not be sitting here watching TV. I have so much homework to do. So, yes, I would definitely ask those type of questions that asking these millennials, do you feel guilty when you have free time and you're doing things on your own for yourself? Do you feel the need to work all the time? Because that's what millennials do. That's just a work life. I would just try to get some information of how many times they feel like they're on their phone or just constantly working, if they have that attitude that they always need to be working, and if that's kind of making them feel like they're burning out, like they're not really enjoying what they're doing, they're just doing it because they kind of have to, because that's what they need to do in order to succeed. Um, and that's what they have to do to ensure that they have a good middle class life and that they're going to survive and that they're going to eventually hopefully thrive, that they are going to be able to adult and just survive this adult life because it's difficult. um I think another thing that they stated in the article that could be asked in a question is if people make to-do lists and if there's always a to-do list. It's just never ending. I know that I do. I bet everybody does. You can have so much time, but you won't have enough time because you're always going to fill this time with more things. So yeah, I just ask a few of those questions, get a feel for their attitudes towards burnout, and just really focus this whole group, this whole survey and interviews on millennials, since that's who was addressed in the article, and also because millennials are between the ages of 22 and 37, so those are probably the ones that are most likely just got out of college and are well into their work careers. If they're at the 37 but 22, like they're probably starting to get into their field of work. And so I think these are the people that are working the hardest because they're trying to prove to